All right, good morning, everyone. What's going on? What's going on, my friends? DSP here, and welcome to the PreStream podcast for Sunday, June 19th, 2022, which incidentally is like a million things this year. Weirdly, I guess we'll talk about that on the PreStream, right? Today not only is a full streaming day for me, where I'll be wrapping up coverage of one new release and actually starting up a new playthrough that you guys requested during my PlayStation Plus premium coverage recently. But in addition to that, today's a double holiday in the United States, which is odd. We almost never have a double holiday, and I actually don't know if it'll continue to be like this in future years. I think it may just be weird timing this year because there's a new holiday that was just announced by our federal government, but there was already an existing holiday today, so it's an overlapping holiday that are completely different. But I guess if you were already going to celebrate one and you can celebrate the other, our country's weird, man. Like I say, things are ass backwards here. Our government is so inefficient at the important things, and then they just like do other weird things out of nowhere. And you're like, huh? So today is Father's Day in the United States. Today is also Juneteenth in the United States. Two completely different holidays that are completely unrelated. Father's Day is obviously the celebration of fatherhood. If you're a dad, you know, today's the day that's celebrated. Families usually honor their fathers today in various different ways. On Father's Day, a lot of the times there's family cookouts, there's get-togethers, there's things that celebrate the dad. The dad sometimes gets presents and stuff. On the same time, Juneteenth is something completely and utterly different, the celebration of the end of slavery in the United States way back in 1856. So how did this come about? Very confusing, right? Well, I believe the way it works is, at least in the United States, Father's Day is always the next to last Sunday of the month of June. Is that what it is? It's always the next to last Sunday of the month. Not the last Sunday, but the one before that, which is today, the 19th of June. But then Juneteenth is always going to be held on June 19th. But this year, June 19th also happens to already be Father's Day. Now, you might say, Juneteenth, what's that? I never heard of it. It's new. It's something that's been in the works for many years that people have been pushing for as a federal holiday. And it was just announced earlier this week by President Biden that it was a new federal holiday this year. Now, the other weird thing about this is that June 19th, today, is a Sunday. Sunday already is a day when all the federal stuff is closed, meaning any kind of government agency, banks, etc., they're already closed today. So what some places are doing is they're saying, well, even though Juneteenth is Sunday for the first time ever as a national holiday, we're going to observe it on Monday. So for some people, this is a 3-day weekend now because they don't have to work Monday, even though previously this was not even known until earlier this week. What's odd is some employers aren't paying attention to it at all and ignoring it. It was funny. I was reading on social media that some employers are like, oh, if you want to take Juneteenth off to celebrate, just use one of your vacation days. It's like, what? But it's a federal holiday. That's not how it works. On a federal holiday, you're supposed to have it all, you know? So I think this just kind of threw everyone for a loop. No one really knew that Juneteenth was going to be a holiday this year. And I think in future years, it won't fall on the same day as Father's Day. Because the third... Hold on a second. Let's go back to 2021. Okay? In 2021... Wait. In 2021, June 19th was a Saturday, okay? Not a Sunday. So in 2021, Father's Day was the Sunday while Juneteenth would have been the Saturday. You see? So they would not have aligned. And in the future, likely that's what will happen as well, is they'll disalign themselves from each other. It's very confusing. Like I said, no one in the United States knew how to handle this because it was just made a federal holiday this year, and therefore now everyone's confused of how to handle it and what's going to happen with this, okay? So that being said, Anyway, um, so no matter how you're celebrating today, I hope you have a good day. First of all, in regards to Juneteenth, I don't have too much that I can really say on the subject, okay? Obviously. But, that being... Jasper's in here today, and he's attacking wires already. That being said, what I will tell you is this, all right? Personally in my life, my lifetime, I'm 40 years old now, I've absolutely, positively ran into incidences where I've known people who were just outright racists. They just, said really fucked up stuff, treated people unfairly. And it's messed up. It really is messed up, especially for where I lived. When I was growing up in Connecticut, it was actually very, very liberal where I lived. Yet I still knew people who were overtly racist, okay? And we still got a ways to go, even though if you live in like a coastal area of the United States, you may think, oh, everything's equal and fine. There's a lot of places where it's not like that, okay? So, all I will say is, don't you dare eat that wire, Jasper Kitty. All I will say is, at least when it comes to me, I've personally never judged anyone by the color of their skin. I think every single person starts on the same page and is equal. In my eyes, I certainly can't make anyone else see that way, but it's always been like that to me. Like, I never cared about what race, what ethnicity, what skin color anyone was. And it's just sad that there are still people who think that way on this planet, and in particular, people who I've personally known in this country who are like that. In this day of 2022, I still know some people who act like that. Thankfully, all I can do is judge for myself, and the buck stops here. When I say that, I mean, that's not how it is, especially with me, my content, my streams. Everyone is welcome. Everyone will always be welcome. I personally have known amazing people of every race, creed, ethnicity, gender, everything. I've known amazing people of every walk of life. I've also known assholes from every single race, creed, ethnicity, gender, and every walk of life. So it has nothing to do with any of that. It has to do with the individual person and how that person acts and how that person determines who they're going to be in life. Okay? So, enough with the bullshit of judging people by their race or color or whatever it may be. Obviously, it's just stupid and outdated thinking. Okay? So, happy Juneteenth to those who celebrated today. Okay? Now, as for Father's Day, I obviously have some personal perspective there. I was actually, over the course of this week, some people were talking to me about, oh, Father's Day, what are you doing for Father's Day? And I'm like, well, I'm not a dad. I guess I'm a cat dad, but I don't see myself as a father. So it's not like I personally celebrate it for myself or anything like that. I already called my dad a couple days ago and had a conversation with him about the week and Father's Day and everything. So I already talked to my dad for the week and everything. But, I reminisce about my childhood and the stuff that I used to do with my dad. And I have fond memories for sure. Even though my dad basically was the person who was the breadwinner of the household and he had to work a lot in order to do that. And a lot of the times it meant sacrificing family time. I remember for a large chunk of my life, he worked night shift. And during that time frame, I would only get to see him maybe an hour a day, an hour and a half a day. Because he would be sleeping during the day, and then I would see him for about an hour and a half before he went to work for the night shift. I would come home from school, see him for like an hour and a half for like playing some games and dinner, and then he would go to work. And then actually what would happen is he would go on break at work, and he would call me on his break to say goodnight because I was going to sleep, and that was another interaction that I had with him during that night shift days, and that was several years. And for a lot of dads out there, that's the sacrifice you make, right? When you are, busting your butt to make a living to support a family, it is what it is. I do have fond memories of my dad. I remember a few very fun things that we used to do. We used to go for walks around the neighborhood, and we would take a small rubber ball around with us. And we would go places where we could play what was called ball on the wall, my dad called it. And what it is you would throw the ball at the ground, it would bounce up, hit the wall, bounce back at you, and you try to catch it. And you try to throw it at different strengths so it would bounce higher and, catch it. And there was a few different places where we liked to do that. There was a local elementary school that had a fun playground with a big concrete wall that you could do it on. So our walks were always fun, especially we had a nice park called Bearsley Park near us where we would walk through a lot, and it was nice to go on walks there. We would play badminton in our driveway. We had a paved driveway outside that was very long. And so we'd play badminton where we would hit the shuttlecock or Birdie. I don't know why the hell it has two completely different names. But we'd hit it back and forth up and down the driveway to each other. And we actually got pretty good at the sport. It was funny because we played it a lot during the summertime. And then I remember in school sometimes they would have it at gym, and I'd be the best player. And everyone like, why the hell is Phil so good at this? It doesn't make sense that he's so good at this thing. Like, because I play it all summer. It's the thing I play with my dad all summer to stay active. And I also remember going fishing with my dad a few times. We didn't go all the time. I remember maybe 3 or 4 really nice times that I went fishing with my father at Lake Lillinois. Yes, it was named after some Native American group in Connecticut. And at the time, I remember it was an incredibly peaceful lake. There was almost no houses or anything on it. It was just a very calm lake. So we'd go down by the shore with a thermos full of iced tea mix, instant iced tea, Lipton iced tea, and we would have a lunchbox, a metal lunchbox we would go. And we'd sit there with our tackle boxes and our rods, and we'd cast down, just sit there and talk and have some iced tea and have a little snack and catch some fish. They were called sunnies, these little beautiful yellow golden fish. And we would never keep them. We would always just catch them, release, throw them back. It was just recreation and fun. And then notably, when it comes to me and obviously what I do today, one of the big things that stands out about me, about my history with my dad and the things we used to do together, is we used to play video games when I was very young. You know, we're talking like mid-'80s. I had gotten a video game system, the Atari 7800, from my Uncle Richie. And he had given me a slew of games to play with it. So I was playing some of the classic games such as Joust, Moon Patrol, Dig Dug, Centipede, Asteroid, E.T. Yeah, I had E.T., if you can believe it. But some of the other games that I played with my dad all the time, Ball Blazer. I remember that game distinctly because it was a 2-player 3D game. Yes, 3D vector graphics back then were a rarity. This game actually had shaded vectors. So it was essentially the first 3D game I ever played. It was a 3D plane, a ginormous square checkerboard, where you were this little, I don't even know what you would call it, a pod. And there was a ball that the 2 pods would try to grab. When you got near the ball would be in your possession. It would stay in front of your pod. And your object was to grab the ball, and then there was a goalpost moving at the other end of the square back and forth, and you had to shoot the ball through the goalpost to score. There were different difficulty levels. On the easiest difficulty, the goal was giant, but as you got better at the game, the goalpost would get smaller and smaller, so you'd have to get much closer in order to score. Now, if you misfired, it would bounce off the wall and come back at you. And by the way, when the 2 pods get near each other and you press the button to shoot the ball, you'd repel each other back with gravitational force. So it was kind of interesting. You could bounce off each other, grab the ball, score. It was fun. My dad and I had a lot of fun playing this game. I remember, just listen to how I'm talking about it as if it was yesterday, right? And that was 35 years ago. And I remember it like it was yesterday, okay? So, I have very fond memories of spending time with my father when I was a child and doing many fun things with him. And it was very nice of him to do those things, even though, like I said, he was busting his ass at his job to make a living to raise our family and so we could afford everything. So, shout out to my dad today. And shout out to all the dads out there who are responsible dads who do the right thing and take care of their families. Hate to say it, it's not everyone, but for those of you who do the right thing, kudos to you and happy Father's Day. Okay, very nice. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk more about stuff that pertains to my streams and my content for today. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, today you may have noticed this. And this is exactly what I've been telling you guys was coming for the last week. I knew that at one point we were going to lose a ton of gifted memberships because last month I got the ability to have gifted memberships here on DSPGaming. And within a couple days of having those, a bunch of people came to the streams and said, wow, we want to support the channel. The first way we ever been able to do this. Let's do it. And boom, I had over 100 gifted memberships within one day of getting gifted memberships here on YouTube, okay? And I'm very appreciative for that. That helped out a lot, and tons of people enjoyed them. Now, for those of you who have the ability to renew them, maybe you'll feel like there was enough value in having that membership for that month that you will. Not only does it support me and the channel as a whole, but also, obviously, everyone here, enjoying those benefits of getting a green highlighted name in chat, getting a chat crown badge next to your name, using all of my emotes, not having slow mode in effect so you can talk as much as you want in the chat, getting priority to nominate and vote on special events. The members got to have priority to nominate games for the upcoming Viewers' Choice event, right? All of that, people had basically for the last 30 days. And I know if you had lost it today, it's a little sad. Man, my month trial ran out, right? But undoubtedly what's going to happen is over time, there will be more of that kind of support on the channel. It's going to, come back, especially I feel when new releases hit. Right now, what are we really doing? We're doing downtime stuff. I'm doing a second run of Teen Ninja Turtles today. We're doing Toy Story 2 tonight. But I get the feeling that once bigger, higher profile games start to hit and people are bringing in more attention and views to the channel, then we're going to start having more of that support again, okay? So, kudos to those who did support the channel in the last month. Thank you for those gifted memberships. Perhaps we'll have more today. Maybe we won't. I certainly know there's going to be a lot of people now looking for it since they had it over the last month and they expired today, okay? And by the way, this is going to go down even further. I looked it up, and what it looks like is it was incremental. Like every few days, we'd have another 10, another 20, another 10, another 20. And then it kind of froze for a bit, and then it was June 1st. I don't know why. On June 1st, there was a giant spike. I think what it was is people wanted to hit the goals for the month. So we had that giant spike, like on the 31st. Well, would it be 30 days in May? No, yeah, we were like the 31st day of May. We had a giant spike in gifted memberships, so we hit all the goals. So I guarantee you that's going to happen again. Is around the 31st, we're going to see another dip. But we may, I'm not worried. Here's the thing. I'm not worried about it. I'm not. It maybe if this was the first time I encountered this, I'd be, oh my God, freaking out. The sky is falling kind of a deal. But I streamed on Twitch for 4.5 years, and I had gifted subs for a long time. And I know from being over there that it goes like this. Ups and downs, it's waves, okay? Sometimes the hot popular game will come out, people will come to support the channel, and you go boo, whoop. And then sometimes you get downtime when there's not a lot going on, and it goes boo. And it's fine. It's not a big deal. As long as it kind of evens out in the long run, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal at all. All right? But there you have it. You may have some people freaking out already. I saw some people on PreStream were like, oh, I just lost my membership. Sorry about that. But, I'm sure if you can't renew it yourself, eventually there will be some people coming back to give some stuff in the future. Okay? Okay. So there you have it. Now, let's talk. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I have a great idea of what I'm doing for the next week. It's finally been determined as of last night what I'll be doing for the rest of the week. And I'd like to talk about this today because I feel like you guys will be very interested in the schedule because it's an interesting one for this week for sure. Okay? So, let's talk. Today, what I'd like to do... Hello, darkness. Good morning. Today, what I'd like to do is I would like to wrap up my playthrough of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. And you might say, wait a minute. Wrap up? I mean, you just started playing it on Thursday when it came out on Game Pass. Yeah. And within one sitting, I beat the whole thing. We've seen the entire game already. It's a very simple game, which I feel is why they included it on Game Pass, because they knew this game would be a very hard sell for people to buy outright when you can literally beat the game in 2 to 3 hours. Okay? So, today, I want to do a second run in the game. But here's how I'm tackling that, okay? Number one, I want to use Casey Jones. Casey Jones is one of my favorite characters in all of Ninja Turtles, both the cartoons and the movies. And so I absolutely would like to do a run with him. I'm sure he's going to be unique and different from when I played with Leonardo for my first run. But this time around, I absolutely want to do a full co-op playthrough of the game, okay? Online cooperative gameplay, where I'll be teaming up with, hopefully, multiple other people. We'll have to see how it works, because I tried it. I tried to figure this out on Thursday. It was confusing. And I joined a lobby where we ended up starting on level 10. Like, I think I went a little too far, so I started over. So hopefully, I can figure this out and get online co-op. Maybe even a full lobby of 6 would be great. Now, here's the other part of that. I would love to play it on the harder difficulty, because I already beat it on the standard. But again, with the online mode and the way it works, I have no idea how you can set the difficulty or if I can get into a lobby that's guaranteed to be a harder difficulty. So as much as I would like to do that, that's something that I can't guarantee is going to happen. But I'll do my best. We'll see what happens. Okay, so this will be my second and final run in Ninja Turtle Shredder's Revenge. After today, I mean, we'll have seen the game twice. What else am I going to do in this game, right? I mean, realistically, we'll have seen the entirety of the thing. Why on earth would there be anything else to do? We finish it up, right? Okay. In fact, listen up, listen to this. After I finish the pre-stream podcast, I'm going to take a quick break to use the restroom. And I'm thinking, if I get into a lobby with people who are going to play the game consistently from start to finish, I might actually play the entire game from start to finish without a break. I wanted to do this without a break. Because I was thinking about this, and I was like, wait a minute. If I'm playing this with people and I take a break, obviously I need to drop from the lobby, right? If I go to rejoin, there's no guarantee that I'm going to get to start the same stage again, right? So I guess what we're going to have to see is, can I get into a lobby where we start on level 1 and we're all going to stick around to play the entirety of the game from start to finish, right? If so, then I will actually do that. But I don't know what's going to happen. What if I actually have to take a shit or something? Well, if I have to take a shit, no, I'm not going to shit here in my chair. That would be disgusting. This is my nice chair. You know, I've almost had this chair for a year now. It's still super comfy. I love it. This is the best chair I've ever had for gaming. It's been such a great year playing in this thing. It's comfortable as shit. Actually having back support is amazing. Anyway, getting derailed here. I'm hoping that I'll be okay, and I'll be able to maybe run through the entirety of the game in one go. We'll see. The game's around 2 to 3 hours long. If you don't take a break, I could probably beat it in like 2.5 hours. But I guess we'll see. Okay? Okay. That's the first stream today, and then that's it. That's the send-off for Turtles. All right? Now, tonight on the late stream, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, we're doing something that you guys directly requested. You. It was just a couple days ago. We were exploring. Oh, my nose. We were exploring. I can't speak today. Hold on a second. It's one of those days. I got marbles in my mouth. Okay, let's try this one more time. Ready? Earlier this week, we were exploring PlayStation Plus Premium, the new subscription-based tier service from Sony on PlayStation consoles. We actually have done, if you can believe it, 9 hours of coverage of this now. I didn't even realize I did that much, but we did. We did 9 hours of PlayStation Plus Premium this week. People liked it, by the way. It seems like engagement was good. Viewership is good. People really enjoyed me doing this. One of the games that I played for the very first time that I knew absolutely nothing about at all when we started exploring the service is Toy Story 2. Okay? I don't know anything about it. Never played it before. I played about 45 minutes of it, I would say. And when I did, you guys really seemed to enjoy it. The general feedback that I got from my viewing audience was, wow, Phil playing Toy Story 2 is a nostalgia trip. Because a lot of us played this game back in the day when it was a new game on PlayStation 1 as a kid. And to see him play it now in the modern day and taking on the same platforming and challenges that we did back in the day feels great. And it's really neat and interesting and unique. And we'd like to see Phil take this on as an actual playthrough. Okay? So, I don't know anything about the game at all, besides what we already saw, you know, when I played it the other day. What was it? Thursday, Friday? Whatever day I played it first. So that being said, since you guys seemed to enjoy that, I'm doing it as a full playthrough. I've been told that it's about 6 hours long, so it wouldn't be that long of a playthrough to do. It's starting tonight, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, 2 hours of Toy Story 2. We already beat the first level, so we're going to start on level 2, which I believe is the yard. Yeah, that's where we're going for tonight. Okay, it should be a good time. I hope you'll join me, especially if this is a nostalgic game for you. I hope you'll swing by and chill with us. Okay. Okay, excuse me. Now, tomorrow, we have two. Actually, this week we have 2 more streaming days, if you can believe it, because usually I don't. Usually, I stream just Monday and Tuesday's my day off. Not this week. This week, Wednesday's my day off. Okay? So because of that, we have 2 full streaming days coming. So what am I going to do on these streaming days? Well, I talked to people. I considered various things. I've decided that starting tomorrow, we are going to start with the Castlevania Anniversary Collection. Now, what console will that be on? I actually don't know. It could be on Xbox Series X. It could be on PlayStation 5. I don't really think it matters. I think it's going to play equally no matter what. It's a Classics collection, right? So, starting tomorrow on the first stream, I'm going to be playing Classic Castlevania. Now, what games are included in this collection? Castlevania 1, 2, and 3 on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Super Castlevania 4 on the Super NES. Plus a bunch of Game Boy games. Apparently, there's 2 Castlevania spin-off games for Game Boy. And then there's another game I've never heard of before. It's called Kid Dracula. Whatever the hell that is. So all that is included in this anniversary collection that they released a few years ago. I think it came out like 2019 or something like that. So you might say, why now? And what's up with this? Well, a couple things. First of all, I have never played a classic Castlevania before on stream at all for you guys. Now, just to let you guys know, if you don't, oh man, no, it's Castlevania. That means it's like a Metroidvania game. It's a giant winding labyrinth where you're going to get lost and have to backtrack and fight the same enemies 400 times. No, classic Castlevania is not like that. Okay, you get that out of your mind. Classic Castlevania is linear. It's not going back and retracing your steps. It's a set amount of platforming challenges, a set amount of enemies, boss fights, pretty epic stuff, and a really kicking soundtrack. All the classic Castlevania games have outstanding freaking soundtracks. And they're very challenging. Okay? They are some of the hardest old school games you can get. They're infamously difficult. Now, did I ever play these before? Admittedly, yes. I remember renting some of these games. I remember playing Castlevania 1 and 3 rented on my NES. Because I remember in 3, there's multiple characters you play as. I distinctly remember that. And then I remember playing Super Castlevania because I specifically remember the whip being able to go in different directions for the first time and being able to hang on the whip when the rooms rotated. I remember playing all that. But I know for a fact that I never beat them at all. I don't even remember getting very far. Back then you'd rent a game, and if you had a ton of time to play, great, but sometimes you didn't. So sometimes I would rent a game and play it for like 2-3 hours, over the course of a day or two, and that was all I had. So I know I didn't beat them. I definitely didn't beat them. I didn't even get that far. So I think this is going to be fun because apparently, it's going to basically be like my first real, genuine experience with these games. And I'm excited because not only is it going to feel nostalgic, but it's going to be challenging. If you watch me play, what was it? Super Ultimate Ghosts and Goblins last year, Resurrection or whatever it was called. It's going to be similar to that level of challenge, I feel. So it should be fun. If you like that playthrough, you're absolutely going to love this one. So, by the way, it's not going to be that hard or that long. These are shorter games. These are NES games, okay? So that should be fun. Tomorrow, something different for variety. Castlevania Anniversary Collection on my first stream. Premiere it, okay? Then on the late stream tomorrow, it's going to be more Skyrim After Hours, where we're going to wrap up the Dawnguard DLC. We're in the home stretch of it right now. We have like one more little thing to do, and then we get this bow, and then we head into the endgame where you do the final fights and everything. So that should be fun tomorrow night as we head into the endgame. Once we beat the Dawnguard DLC, there's not much left in the game, and I think we will actually beat Skyrim within the next week to week and a half. I fully believe that, okay? Then Tuesday, my final streaming day of the week, we're going to do another session of Classic Castlevania, and that's going to be paired with more Toy Story 2 on the late stream. And that's my streaming week this week, okay? I'll be off from streaming on Wednesday. Now, when I return on Thursday, non-stop new release fun. On Thursday, we've got Sonic Origins premiering, which is that unique collection of Sonic 1, 2, 3, Sonic & Knuckles, Sonic CD. Only these versions of the games have added content like remixed music, apparently some increased or improved visuals, and some other added crossover content that I'm not even sure of. But apparently it's supposed to be a pretty awesome collection everyone's looking forward to. So I'll be doing that on Thursday. And then on Thursday night, it'll be more Toy Story 2. Okay? By then, I might have actually beaten the game. That might actually be the conclusion of Toy Story 2 if the game really is only 6 hours long. All right? Then, on Friday, another big new release. It's the Capcom Fighting Collection. Now, in honor of there finally being a new Classics collection out of Capcom, all right, I am going to be covering it for 2 straight days. So here's how I'm covering it. Daytime streams on Friday and Saturday will be offline content, meaning I'll be checking out all the games. There's, I think, 5 or more Darkstalkers games. And when I say cover, I mean, what I'll probably do is just play through the arcade mode once with a certain character and see their ending. Okay? There's Hyper Street Fighter 2 Anniversary Edition, which is an amalgamation of all the different versions of Street Fighter 2 into one game. Okay, I'll probably play through that once on the hardest difficulty. I'll be doing Red Earth, which actually was a game that was never really meant to be a competitive fighter, but is in that collection as well. I'll be doing Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, which admittedly I suck at. I had friends back in the day who absolutely loved this game because it was a puzzle game with Street Fighter characters. I'm not good at it at all, but I would definitely be interested in revisiting this in the collection. There's also Gem Fighter Mini Mix, which is a spin-off of Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, where they turned the puzzle game into a fighting game. I know that sounds weird. It really is. But that's also kind of entertaining. It's more of a party game. It's not meant to be a serious fighter, but it's still going to be fun to mess around with. And then there's another game in there called Cyberbots, which again was another one of these Capcom games that was meant to be a serious fighting game. But it'll be interesting to check it out offline. So, the daytime streams, Friday and Saturday, will be me going through all of this collection offline and playing through all the various campaigns of the games. It might take 2 streams. There's a lot of these games, you see. So it could take a while. All right. Now, on the night streams Friday and Saturday, I'm going to be doing competitive multiplayer. Now, looking at this collection, I can tell you that out of all the Darkstalkers games, only really 2 of them were ever played competitively in arcades. Darkstalkers 3 and Vampire Savior. Those were the only 2. There are other games in this collection, like there's Night Hunters and Night Hunters 2, Vampire Savior 2. Those never really were major arcade releases, okay? They're in there. I don't know, ultimately, which of all of those Darkstalkers games the public will adopt as the ones to play competitively. It very well could be that it's random, or it could be that they actually collectively determine as a community, oh, this one, Vampire Savior 1, was the best one, and that's the one we want to play competitively. I don't know. I guess we have to see when this collection comes out what happens, okay? But definitely Darkstalkers is going to be in the mix, okay? Definitely in the mix. Now also, oh, by the way, someone says they tried to tip it. It says forbidden. Someone tipped 10 minutes ago, so it doesn't sound like what you're saying is truthful. I think you might be full of it, or be having a unique issue. I'll just check quickly myself, but I don't think the tipping is down. I think it's baloney. Anyway, here we go. Let me click on this. And the page loaded fine. Yep, so no. Stream Elements is not down. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. I knew it. Continuing on. So Friday night and Saturday night, it's going to be competitive multiplayer. Some kind of Darkstalkers will be in the mix there. Okay? Hyper Street Fighter 2 Anniversary Edition. I can't imagine people would not want to be playing this competitively. I mean, the game is an amalgamation of all the versions of Street Fighter 2 into one game. Seeing World Warrior Zangief take on Hyper Fighting Cammy, right? Or Hyper Fighting Cammy, wow, that was stupid. Super Turbo Cammy. Seeing Champion Edition Bison take on Hyper Fighting Guile. These are going to be matchups that are going to be crazy to see because there's some really overpowered, broken versions of characters in this collection. And back when this collection was prominent, there was not active online play. So when people were playing this in 2006, the only way to play against people was to play them in person. So there wasn't a lot of exposure of this game in a competitive nature unless you went to a tournament. So now, for the first time ever, this game will be played online. We're going to see matchups, crazy matchups we never even seen before or never imagined. We're going to see how they turn out, okay? So I'm definitely excited for this. I hope you guys are too. And I hope that's good. So both Friday night and Saturday night will be competitive multiplayer in this collection. Okay? Then on Sunday, we will swing back to Sonic Origins for the major stream. And then that night, I'll either do more Skyrim, as we'll be heading into the end of the playthrough, or if there is request and demand for it, we'll just do Castlevania that night, because at that point, I wouldn't have played Castlevania in a very long time. Okay? Fair enough? Cool. I hope that sounds good to you. All right. I was checking the schedule on my phone. That's what I was doing there. Okay, so there you go. SPB, if it says error forbidden, it probably means that you were banned from tipping at one point in the past because you were trolling, and I banned you from tipping because you did a troll tip that was insulting. Yeah. That's probably what it means. So, oh well. You shouldn't have trolled in the past. Anyway, Jasper just bit my foot. Anyway, it's an exciting week coming up, right? It's a good mix. You got the conclusion of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles today, Toy Story 2 starting up tonight, Castlevania starting tomorrow, Sonic Origins on Thursday, a huge new fighting game collection on Friday, a ton of fun stuff coming up. I'm excited for this week for sure. I hope you guys are too. Good stuff coming up, right? All right. So, I'm just trying to think. Outside of all of that, is there anything else that I really want to talk about at this point? I guess here's what I should do. Here's an update on a couple things. First of all, you guys have been nominating games for the upcoming Viewer's Choice playthrough for a while now. It's been about a week and a half. Have I had an opportunity to sit down and review all those nominations and make the polls? No. Absolutely not. I wish I did. I've had zero time to do that, okay? I will hopefully have some time to sit down and work on that in the next few days. And actually kind of eyeballing possibly Tuesday as a day when I'll have more time to do that. At the very least, later on this week, I'll have time. I know for a fact I have maybe a day set later on in the week that if I can't do it earlier this week, later in the week I will do it. I'll sit down, I'll review all of your nominations, okay? And then I will set up the polls. So there'll be 2 polls. Well, actually, I take that back. There'll be 1 poll, and it's going to be at least 5 selections, if not 10. It's the most nominated games for Viewer's Choice, this poll will be. It'll be on the main channel page of DSPGaming under the Community tab. One of the selections will be exclusively chosen by the members who have been nominating games for the last week and a half. But the rest of the choices will be from the public. So, you guys will be voting, and it'll determine what game will actually be a full playthrough here on my streams in the next few weeks. It's probably going to start, I would think, first week of July would be a great time to sit down and start up that playthrough, because by then, first week of July, likely a lot of the ongoing coverage and stuff that I'll be doing will have slowed down. Okay? Cool. Now, also, there's another event that's going to happen, a React event. Okay? Now, personally, I'm happy that this week I didn't react to shit. Seriously. First we had me reacting to my Down the Rabbit Hole. Then we had me reacting to the John and Howard video. Then for a week I was reacting to all the game events. Like, dude, enough of the fucking reactions. Had enough. So I'm happy that that's the situation right now. But we're going to have a special React event lined up. All right, so what is this event going to be? I don't know yet. Right now, you know, the 3 things we absolutely could do is I could react to a documentary from Frederick Knudsen, who did all the Down the Rabbit Hole videos. I could react to a documentary from June the King, who does documentaries on his channel, and I got approval to do his. Or we could react to something completely different, some videos about supernatural stuff and occurrences, maybe a true crime documentary about a murderer and their killing spree. Stuff like that we could react to as well, because I actually have a particular channel that I'm lined up that I could do that for, okay? So that being said, interesting. Now, am I going to be determining this yet? No. What I think we will do is wait till the very last week of June, and then we'll determine, maybe do a poll, or we'll talk about it on the streams. We'll figure out exactly what to do. And then what I'll do is I'm going to schedule a marathon, just like I've done previously. And the marathon will be, number 1, me doing these React style stuff. Number 2, a live feasting with the king. And number 3, an actual new sim video in WWE 2K22 where I'll do a battle royale 30-man over the top rope fight, just like I did last time, all with created fantasy characters, just like I did last time. All right, you guys really loved when I did that last time. It was the first time I'd done it in years, so I kind of want to bring that back. So, so 2 special things will be starting in July. First, it's going to be a viewer's choice playthrough, and then it's going to be a special marathon react event with Feasting with the King with a fantasy match from WWE as well. So all that is coming soon, but not yet. We're not there yet. We still have a week or 2 to get through of new content and stuff, and then we get to the July festivities. Okay? All right. So that being said, I think it's time for shout-outs, and then after that, it's Q&A. So let's get the shout-outs first of all. So, did this not update? It didn't. So I know that there were 2 contributions. First of all, only Kawaii Coffee re-upped their membership for 14 months and said, Happy Father's Day and Juneteenth, Phil. Thank you for the ongoing support. And then there was a super chat from, I believe, Jake. Yes. Thank you, Jake, for the super chat this morning. I think what it is both of those contributions came in before I actually turned the stream on. So even though they're in my queue on YouTube here, they don't show up in the queue from Streamlabs. But they still count. So thank you very much for that. Let's get Jake on the leaderboard. Jasper Kitty, you're back. Jasper has been in and out of the office during the pre-stream today. He has not yet jumped on the chair or anything yet, so you guys haven't seen him. But he has been in here. Shout out to SPB, who just became a supporter of the channel. Thank you, SPB, for the membership. I appreciate that. Okay. You saw his tail? Yeah, he was walking by. Right now he's rubbing my foot. Jasper, people want to see you, but you don't like me to pick you up these days when you're on camera, right? He's been very squirmy when I try to pick him up. Jasper, you want to come up here? Want to come up on my lap? He doesn't want to come up. You want to come up on my lap? Come on, buddy. Come up on my lap and say hello to everybody. Climb the chair. Jasper, come on. He's just staring and he won't move. He doesn't want to come up here. Here he comes. Come on up. Yes. Here he is. Here's Jasper Kitty. Ha 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 ha. I got him to come up. Well, you got dandruff. Jasper, you've got some dandruff. Oh no. Oh no, Kitty needs a bath and he hates water. Uh-oh. He hates water. The times we tried to give him a full bath, that did not go over well. So what we do is we buy shampoo and you spray him and you can wipe his fur with it and it cleans him. He does not like a bath at all. So you want to see something funny? I've heard you can pet a cat, but you don't pet a cat the way you can pet a dog. A dog likes to be pet on the head. A cat likes to be pet right here. Look, he likes it. You pet a cat on their upper back, and they like it just like if you pet a dog. He actually loves this. I've been doing this for like a couple weeks. We saw this online. He loves it. Look at this. He's like little pats on his upper back, and he feels like that's very calming to him. That's interesting that a cat doesn't want it on their head. They want it like right here on the up, mid to lower back. Look, he loves it. Look, you see, he froze. He liked it. He just stopped moving because he wanted more. It's funny. Okay. Shout out to Kyle. This is a super chat. Says you can have a DSP purge, unban everyone for a day. No, I'm not an idiot. I'm definitely not doing that. That would be insanely stupid and incredibly detrimental to everyone who's intelligent and wants to have fun on my stream, so I'm not doing that. Right, Jasper Kitty? You don't want those trolls back, do you? Look at that. He's like, absolutely not. No trolls. No trolls. Derek says he pets dogs on the head or the body. Bigger dogs love it. Kitties like to be rubbed on the head like this, but they don't like to be pet like a dog likes to be pat. He likes it right here. Look at him. See, he freezes. He likes it. He's like, oh, I like that. That's cute. Okay. So thank you to Kyle. I will certainly update the leaderboard when I get a chance in a moment here. Shout out to I Am Kazam, who did a $5 tip. That's our first tip of the day. And he says, 44 years ago, Jim Davis changed the world. He created a lasagna-loving comic strip character known as Garfield. Happy birthday to America's favorite feline. Here's to 44 more years of hating Mondays, squishing spiders, and kicking Odie off the table. I didn't know that it was Garfield's anniversary, but all right, there you go. All right, so now let's get Kyle on the leaderboard for the latest super chat. And let's get I Am Kazam on the leaderboard for a tip. The first tip of the day. There you have it. Thank you guys for the early support. All right. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I've talked about all the topics that I want to talk about on the pre-stream. So we're going to open it to Q&A. If you guys would like to talk about anything, you know, let's do it. You should tag me in the stream chat, and we'll go from there. All right? Parasolo re-upped his membership for 14 months. He says, what was the last superhero movie that you watched? Movie. Probably Avengers Endgame. I think so. Because I'm trying to think. I don't think I saw anything after that. I didn't see the two Spider-Man movies after that. No, all the Marvel movies and superhero movies that I saw were before that. I did watch WandaVision last year, but that's not a movie. That's a television series. No, I've never played Quack Shot. Am I playing story or arcade today? I don't even know the difference. Like I said, I just want to play online with people and play through the game. I don't know what modes they are. I don't know anything really the difference about it, so I don't know. Derek, I don't know. He says, is there anywhere particularly sad that we lost in 2022? I don't know. I don't. I'm not dwelling on that, and I really want to think about it. Matrix 91 did a super chat and says, I found out 3 stages of life cycles. Fat turns to energy, energy turns to power, power turns to chaos. It's all ogre now. Thanks, Matrix, for the super chat. It's all ogre now. Alrighty then. I want to talk about an old internet meme. It's all ogre now. Alrighty then. Senator Zen, as I actually talked about this recently, as I was talking about in the future diversifying my content. He says, what are your thoughts on introducing a new series of Cooking with the King? It's not going to happen anytime soon at all. But, as I said, in the future, all right, I may consider doing something where I do a series of trying to make meals. Of course, it would be me trying to do stuff at a time when, you know, I've never really cooked major meals before. So it certainly would be like, wow, can Phil pull this off or not kind of an attitude. But I have no means to do that right now. I would have to figure out how could I film in my kitchen. Right now, I don't have anything to do that. My old digital cameras are broken. My camcorder doesn't work or is gone. I don't know where it is. I haven't used my camcorder in like 5 years. I don't even know where the fuck it is. If it even works. I have no clue. And by the way, the camcorder looks like shit. It just really is a bad quality camcorder. It never was meant to be good. So, basically, I have no means. If I wanted to film anything around my house at this point, I don't have a way to do it. It's not like back in the day when I had that means. I don't have that anymore. I'd have to figure it out, you know? So, and no, it's not live streaming from my phone. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. The point of doing a cooking show is actually doing the cooking show that's a show. Not, oh, you're live streaming and being stupid and fucking everything up. So, no, I have to think about it. Maybe long term, but no, I have no plans of doing anything cooking in the short term. Have I ever tried fish and chips? Yes. I've had fish and chips from various different places, restaurants and the like, and I think it's good depending on where you go. Because you have to have the right balance of batter and fish. You also have to have the batter cooked properly so it's crispy but not too thick and gooey. And I also like different kinds of batter as well. But yes, I've had fish and chips before. Do a new version of my sauce. I could. I haven't done it in a million years. Like, we actually have not made sauce now in a while. You might have noticed. I used to call it Saucy Sundays or whatever. We haven't done it in a long time. There's a few reasons why. Our schedule for the last entire year has been very tumultuous, to say the least. If you haven't noticed, frequently, sometimes our day off would change. You know, a lot of things have been very fluctuating here. Let's say we haven't had a lot of steady stuff going on behind the scenes for a long time now. And because of that, it's hard to make time to make this sauce, because not only does it involve having several hours to set up and cook and have it be simmering during the daytime, but also it requires a special trip to get the ingredients. To actually make my homemade sauce, my family recipe, you need to have very specific ingredients, including San Marzano tomatoes. Without the San Marzano tomatoes, I might as well not make the sauce. It won't taste like Italian sauce without them. But there's only a few places around here that have them. So what we were doing is we were making a trip to this certain area where we would go to one place and buy some of the ingredients. You could go like right across the street, and a place across the street had the other ingredients. And then we could buy bread to make grinder rolls and things, so we could have our either meatball grinders or sausage grinders or whatever it is we were doing. So basically, we had a routine. And then that routine about a year ago got thrown for a loop, and everything changed. And then we were like, damn, now we don't have a consistency to do this anymore. And it used to be something that we would do like every 3 months. We would do a pot of sauce. It would take a while to make, but then we would have sauce for months. We'd be able to have pasta with all this sauce all for months and months. And it basically, our lives got a lot more chaotic, and then we couldn't do it anymore. So sadly, yeah, I haven't had an opportunity to really make the homemade sauce in a very long time. Maybe that would be something that eventually I would do is, I'm going to bring back the sauce, and when I bring it back, I'll document how to make it in a video series or something. I don't know. But again, I have no way to film in my kitchen at all. Zero. My digital cameras and shit that I used to use way back in the day don't work anymore. And I don't even know where my camcorder is. So as of today, outside of just a raw live stream, which I'm not going to do, I have no means to film in my kitchen at all. Maybe that will change in the future. You know, we talked about the possibility of long-term here, me upgrading my setup, my equipment. And if I do that, I want to get a better webcam / face cam. And we were already talked about, instead of getting a shitty camera like this that I used for 10 years, that I get a high-quality one that's a real digital camera or camcorder that could also live stream, right? Good stuff. Okay, anything else? Shit and shit. Tip me $1.50. He says, I find it odd how Nathan and other super chatters stopped showing up. What are you talking about? What? Nathan, you mean Nathan Smith? He was here yesterday. He was literally on stream yesterday. I don't know. Here's the deal. All right, guys. Here's me, and here's the weirdos, okay? Here's me and my mentality. So today I'm going to turn on my stream. I'm going to have a great time with my audience. I interact with everyone there. We have a great interactive time. It's social. We have conversation. We have fun. People enjoy what I'm doing on my stream today, and they contribute. That's how I see my stream, okay? Here's how some people see the stream. Oh my God, someone cheered. Microanalyze every action that person has ever done on Phil's stream, including his chat logs, how often they talk, are they a member, did they re-up their membership at what level, how often do they chat, tally up the amount of super chats that they put together to find out their contribution, did they ever tip, add the tips together. Now I have a running calculator of how everyone acts and contributes and shows up. It's fucking insane how these people act. They are not normal. Anyone who acts like that, there's something wrong up here. For me, it's like, this is a hangout session. We come and we have a chill, good time, right? We interact, we have fun conversation, we play games together. Everything's fun. That's how I approach my streams. This is not super serious. This is not anything. Oh my God, someone didn't show up for a few weeks. And? To me, it's not, oh my God, the sky is falling, the world has ended. That's how some of these people act. Because they're fucked up in their head. These people who want to be up in others' business. They want to be like micro-analyzing everything. You know? No exaggeration. So for a whole week, I was telling everyone, just so you guys know, just to prepare you. I know that large amount of gifted memberships is going to fall. It's coming. It's about 100 gifted memberships I got the moment that we had gifted memberships last month. I know that those are going to expire. Expect this number to go down. It doesn't mean it's a horrible thing. It's going to happen. It used to happen on Twitch. It's going to happen here. Everything's fine. What happened all day yesterday? There was like 10 people. Oh, are you going to update your members goal? Are you going to update the members total? Can you update it to see how many it dropped? Can you update that to see if it's accurate? Can you update it? Can you update it? They're nuts. There are these people who are just so obsessed with negativity and just obsession around my streams and support of my streams. Something I don't obsess about. They obsess about it more than me, and I'm the one running the streams in the business. They're nuts. When you see someone like that, you point to them and you say, hey, you're nuts. I'm ignoring you now. Block them. Seriously. Pay no heed to people like this. They don't add anything positive. They're messed up. They're just here to give everyone drama and to give us all a bad time. That's not what we're here for. I don't care. It's my job to run a business as well as a hobby at the same time, right? And yes, it is my job to make sure that at least I'm making enough to make ends meet and pay my bills. Every once in a while, if we get a slow day, I'll bring it up and say, hey guys, can you support or whatever? And that's it. It's not some giant thing where they're doing giant conspiracy theories and tracking shit. They're out of their minds. They're literally out of their fucking minds. Just ignore those idiots. So this guy tipping, where's Nathan? Nathan used to super chat. He's not on your streams anymore. Where is he, bro? What the fuck is your problem? Really? What screw is loose up here? No one thinks like that but you. Really? No one fucking thinks like that. You're fucked. Get a life, get a job, get a hobby, do something else than try to fucking micromanage who's on my streams contributing what and where they've been. Get the fuck out of here, man. You're out of your mind. Okay, enough of that. Derek, you're so far ahead of anything I'm doing. He goes, are you going to play other Toy Story games? I literally have played 45 minutes of Toy Story 2. All right, tonight is my first actual session of Toy Story 2 as a playthrough. The last thing on my mind is thinking about if I'm going to play more Toy Story games. Really. We will think about that later. We'll think about how it goes, you know. And if it goes well and people want to see more Toy Story long-term, great. But that's like, we're on step 1, and that's step 47 out here, you know. Undying Cthulhu says there's a new horror game, FPS Phobia St. Dinfa Hotel, coming out June 28th. I've never heard of this. I don't know anything about it at all. So I'm going to say, I know now I'm not playing it, but if I hear about it later, people play it and say it's good, then I'll consider it. I like horror games, but I've never heard of this game you're mentioning right now. I also really like this TMNT game, Derek. I'm enjoying it. But the thing is, it's too short for me. Like, that's the thing. Oh, here we go. It's a throwback to the old classic arcade games. Great. But the arcade games were like 45 minutes long. So this one's 3 hours long. Great. It's still super short. It's disappointing that you're kind of done with it after one sitting, you know? Excuse me. Whew. Thank you, No Sleep Real Vibe. Says, happy Father's Day. Hope your parents are doing well. They are. I called them a couple days ago. Is Hyper Street Fighter 2 arcade mode ridiculously difficult like Super Turbo arcade mode? I don't know. You want to know why I don't know? Because when it came out, I wasn't a content creator. I was just a competitive Street Fighter player. And when it came out, I didn't play arcade mode. I played, against other people. That's the only way I played the game. I don't think I ever even played through the arcade mode, so I wouldn't even know. We'll find out on Friday, I guess, right? Thank you, SPB. He likes my shirt today. Did Jasper get me something for Father's Day? Indeed, he did not. He does not have the ability to purchase things because he does not have currency. However, he is a cute cat, and he's sitting in front of the television right now. Malcolm says, for the end of Skyrim, can I adopt 2 sons to help run the farm? I don't know. I guess we'll talk about it. We were talking about it last night on the Skyrim stream, that once I basically beat the story of the game, that my character of Jasper in the game can retire to the farm and basically like run the farm as his retirement after saving all of Skyrim. But I don't know how we're going to do it. I guess we'll figure it out then. Do I ever see myself becoming a father, like a human father in real life? No. It's not going to happen. I'm 40 years old. It's too late. I have no desire to do it. My wife has no desire for kids. No. It's not happening. Pet dad, sure. I'll probably have many pets over the years, but, you know, human father, that's not going to happen. Oh, my nose is bothering me now. Ugh. Will I continue a playthrough for Resident Evil Director's Cut? At this point, we didn't even start. I mean, that was 10 seconds of the gameplay, you know. Will I ever play it? Maybe, if people want it. Both Resident Evil Director's Cut Upscaled PS1 Edition plus the Resident Evil Remake are on the PlayStation Plus Premium package. So, I have access to both. If that's what people want, we could play it at some point, but it's up to you guys. Skyrim has been the ultimate chill game. It really has been. Take a look at the way I've played it. So laid back, sporadically. I don't even have to play it consistently, but when we come back, it's always fun. There's always questing to do. There's always stuff to do, right? TJ, estimate me $1.50 says, I know Vanguard and Cold War are dog shit. Are you excited for Modern Warfare 2? No, because I didn't like Modern Warfare 1. So I'm not excited for Modern Warfare 2. I'm going to play the beta in the summer whenever it goes public. I'm going to determine if it's any good. If I like it, I'll get the game. If I don't like it, I won't play it, just like Vanguard. It'll be the same line of reasoning for me is I'll give it a shot. I'm not going to write it off, but I'm going to give it a shot. And if I don't like the beta, fuck it. Don't buy it, right? Ooh. Please show Jasper was already here. Jasper was on my lap. Jasper, people are asking to see you again. Are you going to be up on the chair today? People like when you jump on the chair. Are you going to jump on my chair? If I get up to pick him up, he's probably going to move. Let's see. Watch, he's going to move. Watch this. As soon as I stood up, he jumped down. I knew it. The moment I stood on my feet, he jumped off, and he's laying on the floor now. You're not. I wasn't mad at you for being up there. I wanted you to come over here. People want to see you. He won't. See, now he's laying on the ground rolling around. He's not going to come over here. That's how he is. Oh, let's see here. Did Jasper make me breakfast in bed today? Sadly, no. I made him breakfast this morning. I filled his food bowl, and I also gave him a wet treat, which is chunks of meat with some like broth or gravy on it. And he had a little of both. Expand Dong says they need to put classic Silent Hill games on PSN. Absolutely. I would play all 3 original Silent Hill games if they were on PSN. I would. They don't have any of that shit. It's very, very, very limited. The classic selection. It's not very good. The only survival horror game they have is Resident Evil. You know, they need to have other stuff on there, and I hope they will add stuff over time. But then again, Konami, it's up to Konami. Konami's probably going to tell them no. Shout out to an anonymous tipper who tipped me $1.50 and says, will you consider going back to Fear? Did you see how bad that game ran? You really want me to go back and play that? It ran like shit. It was really bad. I would say no, unless there's a modernized version for consoles that runs better than that. I don't want to go back and play the PS3 version. That was complete shit. Spawn Killer taught me $1.50 and says, when you were growing up, you ever thought of doing something with video games like being a tester or a designer? I wanted to become a tester, but that never happened. When I was a kid, I used to draw my own levels for Super Mario Brothers. As I was playing Super Mario Brothers like 1 and 3, I would actually take long pieces of drawing paper and draw out my own stages. Imagine, oh, look, here's a challenge someone could run into or something like this. I thought that was neat. Outside of that, no. I never took it seriously like I would ever want to be involved in game development. I was always a fan of playing, not designing. Okay. Plum Girl says I should put a cat bed or some kind of perch in frame for Jasper. See if he'd ever hang up and nap there. The only thing I could do, I would have to completely remove everything from here and put a cat bed here, but I guarantee you he wouldn't use it. I guarantee you he wouldn't. I just know Jasper. I know Jasper. And there's certain things he likes and certain things he doesn't like. First of all, he never likes something for more than a couple months. We'll have a cat bed for him. He'll sleep. Oh, I like that. Sleeps in it for 2 months. Done. After that, it's like it never existed. Throw it out. just to give you some perspective. So, when I got my Hori Fighting Stick Alpha for Christmas, remember a fan donated it to me. The box it came in, the giant shipping box, I just happened to put it down on the floor that night. He jumped in it and stayed in that box for 2 months. He loved it. He just kept going in and out. It was his fort. He would go in there, he'd peek out. Oh, he loved it. It was his plaything, his little cave, okay? After 2 months, he decides, I don't want to be there anymore. Then he starts jumping on top of the cabinets, on top of our refrigerator, and hiding up in the upper corner of the kitchen that we can't even see. He did that for about a month and a half. He'll be laying on the couch with us, and then all of a sudden decide, I don't want to be on the couch anymore. For the next 2 months, I'm going to sleep on the floor on the carpet. That's just how cats are, and that's how he is. He's very seasonal, and he changes what he likes. So, even if I said, oh, let's get a cat bed, and let's just take all these decorations out of here. Let's put the cat bed here, and see if Jasper will jump up there and start sleeping on it. He'll use it for like a couple weeks, and he'll just stop. That's how he is. That's what people are like, oh, why don't you have a cat cam? There's no possible way to have a cat cam. He does not do the same behaviors for extended periods of time. He never has. He's always different. Even at night. Sometimes he sleeps at the foot of our bed. Sometimes he tries to sleep in the middle. Sometimes he tries to sleep on the floor. He sleeps different places or different things. That's how cats are in their behavior. It's not like a dog where, oh, that dog is a go-to place where the dog goes to every day. I think people really misunderstand cats in that way. Cats aren't like that. So there would not be a way for me to set up something on stream for him to go to all the time. It would be nice. That would be nice, right? There's the other thing, and the other factor is Jasper can't consistently come in here. As you know, I told you the last year, my schedule has been very chaotic, sporadic, and changing. There's been some times where for a whole strip of time, he could come in here and spend time with me when I stream. There's been also runs of months when he couldn't, right? Things are changing constantly. So it would be kind of messed up to get people used to him being on stream, and then all of a sudden, well, guess what, guys? Now he can't be on stream again. All right, it is what it is. I've kind of explained this a lot of times. I don't want to really go into the full explanation again, so. Alex from Phoenix. Timmy $6 says, do you feel like I do? At this point, the video game industry, like Hollywood, has run out of original ideas. Let me put it this way. It's not that there's no originality. It's that the originality is not, sadly, is not really what's focused on anymore. And here's why. Back in the day, in order to get noticed, in order to make money with a game, your game had to be original, fun, and something that stood out from the crowd, because then reviewers would review it and say, wow, original, great, 10 out of 10. You know, it really mattered back then, right? Today, here's what happened. Gaming became more mainstream. As gaming becomes more mainstream, rather than people looking for those original experiences, people tend to look for cookie cutter experiences. What falls into this particular mold of or category or genre, and is it best in class or an improvement upon what I've already played in that genre? Why do I want to play it? That's what happens when things go more mainstream, right? Think about 20 years ago. How many superhero movies were there? Well, you had X-Men, Spider-Man, a few Batman movies. It was sporadic, right? So when you actually went to the movies to see those, they felt special. They felt unique. Now, superhero movies are a dime a dozen. We got superhero TV series. We got superheroes out the ass. So the market becomes oversaturated with that, and now it's not special anymore. But superhero movies today are making more money than ever before because it's now an established genre, and people in droves, mainstream, go out to watch those movies. Regardless of even what the subject matter is, if it's a superhero movie, I'm going to see it. That's the mentality. So today, when you look at game development, let's say you're a major game publisher, right? You have money, you want to invest in a game, but you want to make sure you make a turn on your investment. You want to make money back. Do you go for the game that is a risk, something unique, different, no one's ever heard about it before, right? What is this game? It's wild, it's wacky, but it's addicting, it's fun, has potential to blow up and be a whole new thing that people will really enjoy. Or do you go for the latest game in the same exact genre and trend that's already popular and just make a few tweaks here, add a new intellectual property to it to make it something a little different, and hopefully your game will sell and you make a bunch of money on it? You see, this is what happens, is And this happens in all forms of entertainment. You've got a phase where it's no longer just about being creative to stand out or being original to stand out or even making a unique work of art. It's just make the money. And so I think there are some game studios that literally are in it just to make money. If you look at games, I just say it, EA, Ubisoft, the vast majority of crap they're pumping out is stuff just to make money. It doesn't break the mold. It doesn't do anything original. It's just follow a formula, print the money, right? There are other game companies that do try to do things differently. In particular, a lot of indie companies are the ones that are really focusing on innovation and different stuff these days, right? Of course, there are some exceptions. Like, for example, God of War 2018, they took an established franchise that was already popular and they decided to redesign it from the ground up to be something completely different and in some ways unique, I guess you could argue. And it ended up being popular. You know, it was a big risk, a big gamble for them to take God of War and change it from this combat style into a more narrative style with different kinds of combat and a more serious overtone. You know what I mean? It definitely changed things a lot. So there's still companies doing it. It's just few and far between. You got to really latch on to those companies that are trying to do things differently. And you want to know the truth? I think that's why when we just recently had the big reveal of Starfield, right? Oh my God, it's the first time we're ever seeing this game. And what did we see? We saw build your own spaceship, build your own settlement, settle on one of 1,000 worlds, which is all shit that's already been done in No Man's Sky. All right? Then we saw gunplay that looked identical to gunplay from a million other games. And then we saw the dialogue trees and the exploration of a city and the questing from like Fallout and other Bethesda games. So what did we see? We saw shit from all other games we've already seen. Was there one single thing in the presentation of Starfield we just saw that looked like it was something new that you'd never done in a game before? No. So that's the thing. If people, you guys don't have the right to criticize the game. You haven't played it yet. We know Bethesda puts out great games. Why are you naysaying? Why are you saying this or that? It's not No Man's Sky. All right, maybe it's not No Man's Sky, but it's just things we've already done. So why get hyped? Why get excited over something you've already fucking done, right? With Fallout, at least that game franchise has some unique things like VATS and other little tweaks and things that are unique to that franchise. You know you're only going to get when you play Fallout. In Elder Scrolls, there's gameplay mechanics, things about the world, the way that the commerce works, the RPG leveling and stuff. It's different. It's unique to that world. You play Elder Scrolls, you're going to get this uniqueness. What uniqueness are you getting from Starfield? It's all shit you've done in other games. Literally, everything in that game is lifted from another game. So why are you excited? Do you understand this is the difference of certain games being developed and why some people react to the way that they are now? I find it hilarious. Oh, people are just so negative they don't like anything. No, they just want something new and something they haven't fucking played 10 times before in other games. They're tired of that. They're tired of you made the game just to print money. Make the game so it's a unique experience so I can say, wow, I was blown away, something I've never done before, something that's going to be memorable for me. You know, those games that resonate in your head forever because they really were unique experiences, as opposed to, the game that I picked it up and I played it with my buds for 2 months, grinded online, put the controller back down, and I'd never remember it ever again. That's the difference here. Okay. All right, any other questions, guys? Still got a few minutes left before, we end the pre-stream, and I'll take a quick break to use the restroom, and then we'll jump into Ninja Turtles. Yes, I am of Italian descent. That is correct. Alan, I have no idea what you're talking about. No Sleep Real Vibes, I have no idea. He says, do you think that the netcode of this upcoming Capcom collection will be good? I mean, there's no way to know. All you can know is what you're told. Here's what we were told. Robust netcode. Yes, they actually used that term at one point. Rollback. A lobby system that's going to be complex and have multiple options for what you would want from a competitive game. If it has just those things, it's already 3 times better than Digital Eclipse's 30th anniversary collection, where no rollback. It was shitty. The netcode. The lobby system was completely broken from the start. Didn't even work. Then when they fixed it, they didn't fix it. It doesn't have features that you need. You know what I mean? Like, Just from the get-go, it's going to be better. But I guess we'll see. Man on Wheels says, story mode lets you abuse the taunt move, it lets you heal. Yeah, but if you put arcade mode, then there's no leveling system, so it's kind of boring. I feel like the story mode is where it's at. You want to be leveling your character up over time. You don't want to just be going through with all your abilities from the start, right? That was supposed to be the point of the game. I know. How bad is it that they're bundling the 30th anniversary collection with the Capcom Fighting Collection? They're not even made by the same company, and they're bundling them together to try to milk another dollar out of people. And sadly, people will not do the research. They will not realize how bad the 30th anniversary collection is, and they will buy both and be sorely disappointed. So I'm getting some of the dumbest things I've ever seen. Like someone asking me what to invest in a recession. Someone's telling me to dress up like a bee. When I start getting dumb questions like that, I realize the stream has basically gone too long. If there's zero intelligent questions, then there's, no reason for me to stick around and we can end the pre-stream, I guess. I mean, what the fuck? No, Battleduck, I don't know what you mean. We're not talking about on-disc DLC. No, I never played Revenge of Shinobi. Easy Peasy says it's kind of like Castlevania, but with ninjas. It's really good. Never played it. Rich man, I'm not involved in any drama. I don't even know what you're talking about. Act man drama. He's talking about review tech. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Nor do I care. I don't care about any of it. I really don't. Malcolm says in Skyrim you can adopt a boy from a farm stable outside of Solitude. I think I already did that. The Redguard boy that is orphan in Dawnstar. Jasper's two sons. Man on Wheels says, how does this game stack with the classic Turtles games for me? It's on par. It's just very much longer, but it's definitely on par. And I like how it had all these characters who are from like the television show or the comics who aren't mainstream Ninja Turtles characters. You don't think about Dirtbag and Ground Chuck when you think about Ninja Turtles, but they're in there. The Mutant Frog dudes, right? I owned at least one, if not more, of their action figures, and I loved them, but they weren't mainstay characters, but it's cool that they're in here. All right. Definitely the questions have slowed down with intelligence. So, all right. Let's end the pre-stream. All right. And we'll get ready. We'll get settled here for the gameplay. Thanks, everybody.